all know how important it is to reduce, reuse and recycle. It's known as the 3 R's.
Come on, tea's ready.
Put the lid on the last one.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. In general, people are getting pretty good at using the 3 R's, but we still create a lot of rubbish that can't be recycled. Householders across Plymouth, southwest Devon and Torbay produce 200,000 tonnes of it each year. So, once it's been collected by your local council, where does it go? In the past, our rubbish was buried in huge holes in the ground called landfill sites. But now, all of the rubbish which we don't recycle is taken to the Energy from Waste CHP facility in Plymouth. Here, we can recover some of the energy trapped in the rubbish by burning it, a process known as Energy from Waste, or EFW. Up to 245,000 tonnes of rubbish are treated at the Plymouth facility every year. Lorries from Plymouth, Torbay, West Devon, South Hams and part of Teignbridge deliver to the Plymouth facility. 300 lorries every week on average. Each one brings between 6 and 21 tonnes of non-recyclable rubbish. When it gets to the plant, the lorry drives onto a special set of scales called a weighbridge. Then the lorry drives into the tipping hall. There, it reverses up and empties its rubbish into a large pit we call the waste bunker. This can hold 12 to 15 days' worth of rubbish.
Here you have a load which has been collected via refuse collection vehicle, household waste. So typically this is what's been going into their bins. You have cardboard, paper, plastic, some never used. Most of this stuff could have been recycled.
In the waste bunker, an automatic crane grab mixes the waste. This huge grab can lift 8 tonnes of rubbish in its metal claws. That's the weight of 8 small cars. Let's see what happens next. The crane grab is programmed to lift the rubbish into the hopper. There, it drops down onto a moving grate. The grate is made of steps which move slowly backwards and forwards, pushing the rubbish down a slope through the combustion chamber. We burn 30 tonnes of rubbish every hour at a temperature of 1,000 degrees centigrade. That's hotter than lava from a volcano. Air is blown up from underneath the grate through small gaps to make sure there's plenty of oxygen in the chamber. This is essential for safe combustion. Ash from the fire falls off the end of the moving grate and we collect it for recycling. The heat from the fire turns water in the boiler into steam. The steam powers a turbine which drives a generator to make electricity. Like any fire, the energy from waste process produces hot gases. These gases are scrubbed clean using chemicals before passing through filter bags to remove any harmful particles. We send the electricity to the dockyard through thick underground cables. Any electricity they don't need is sent to the national grid. The electricity we generate would be enough to power 37,000 homes. As well as producing electricity, the Plymouth EFW sends some of the steam to heat the dockyard through large overground pipes. This is called Combined Heat and Power, or CHP. This is the baghouse. Here we clean the hot gases from the fire by sucking them through filter bags. There are 2,400 filter bags, each around 5 meters long. The particles filtered from the hot gases are called air pollution control residue and fly ash. These are collected by lorry and taken off-site for disposal. Once the gases have been thoroughly cleaned, they're safe to go up our 95-metre-high chimney stack. On cold days, you'll see a trail of warm, damp air coming from the top. Just like a bonfire, the combustion process creates ash. It's known as bottom ash, or IBA. The Plymouth EFW produces 50,000 tonnes of IBA each year. This is collected by lorry and taken away for processing. All of the metals are sent for recycling. The ash that's left is processed as aggregate and recycled as road surfaces. The Plymouth facility works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Operators in our control room watch over everything from a bank of computers. Safety is especially important. We check the hot gases continuously. Sensors in the chimney stack send information to the control room computers. Staff from the Environment Agency can ask to see this information at any time of the day or night. Mike has worked for MVV since the early days of construction and has supervised the commissioning as well as the operation of the facility.
It's important to remember that this, in fact, is a power station, and instead of using fossil fuels like coal and oil, we're utilising non-recyclable municipal household waste as our fuel source. We recover the energy from that waste and we create electricity. In that way we are avoiding it going to landfill. Now, we do still get items through that could be recycled and should be recycled. And this is where you guys come in, because you can force that issue with your parents and educate them. Everything that can be recycled should be recycled, then it won't end up here.
So, let's recap the process. We burn rubbish. This makes heat which boils water to produce superheated steam. The steam drives a turbine which powers a generator to produce electricity. We send the electricity to the dockyard and to the national grid by underground cables. Some steam is taken from the turbine and sent through overground pipes to the dockyard for heating. At home or at school, whatever you're doing, remember to use the 3 R's: reduce, reuse and recycle. Reduce. Think about the things you buy and look after them so that they last as long as possible. Reuse. Use things over and over again or pass them on to someone else. Recycle. Use your local recycling collections to make sure that things you finished with can be made into something new. Then finally, recover. If it can't be reduced, reused or recycled, put it in your bin so that we burn it to make energy. But let's all work together to make sure we put as little as possible in our rubbish bins.